Okay, it's Wednesday, March 27th. I want to show two clips from this video, the latest from Richie from Boston. And again, for those people that fly by here, and this is not just about Richie from Boston. This is about every other fucking channel that does this same shit, recycled over and over. The end is here. The end is tomorrow. The end was yesterday. And as Richie from Boston would put it, and so on and so forth. I just want to show two clips. I show these people's bullshit, and people don't. I get these comments, why am I listening or paying attention to these straw men? It's because that's what I've been doing since I started my channel on YouTube 5 to 6 years ago, somewhere in there. And people keep following these people. People keep believing in. People keep financially support them. So as in the case of Richie from Boston, he has spent, I don't know how many fucking years just driving around at his sheep's expense, his flock's expense, especially the Christian faithful that believe all this fucking horseshit. But let's pause here. Here he's showing a bunch of mainstream media news clips, even though he constantly professes he does not watch mainstream media. Okay, let's move on.
Tomorrow, Michael Yoshida reporting.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. I apologize that I'm making a video in my truck whilst driving, but...
Okay, what's the first thing in this video? He's not driving, so thus, like I said, he does not travel alone. Richie professes himself to be a loner. He's not a loner, but let's move on.
I have someplace to be, and I don't want to forget what I want to say. And I woke up this morning in Area 51, literally.
I woke up in Area 51. Literally, he loves this literally word. You don't. And he woke up in Area 51 literally. Okay, where's any photo or video? Because again, Richie from Boston videos and drones, or that camera you stick on your head when you're riding your bicycle and all that shit. He videos or photos everything, but he's in Area 51 or just left there and nothing. Okay, let's move on.
Signal, so I watched a video by Manyfish, and it showed a Singapore tanker hitting a bridge and taking the bridge out completely, 100%.
Okay, now he's going to say he never heard or saw anything about that bridge, the ship hitting the bridge, until he watched Manyfish. Manyfish is a Christian channel Richie's been pushing for years so he can draw in the Christian sheep, thus to have his subscribers, thus to have his income. He just showed a bunch of... let's move on, fuck. This is just such retarded bullshit. And how can people believe any channel that's been recycling and doing this shit for years? But let's move on.
100%.
Okay, this key bridge in Baltimore is the beginning or whatever of taking our infrastructure. I'm actually throwing in the beginning part, but let's move on.
An F-18 or a stealth bomber, which people may have noticed, but probably not because it's America. They used an oil tanker or whatever type of a tanker it was, and they took out a massive...
Now he's going to pretend like he doesn't know, like it was a cargo ship. Okay, I'm paying attention.
Enormous amount of food production plants, etc., that we have in the United States.
I remember that. I did videos on that. They were talking about all these planes that were crashing and destroying food production. There was 2. And one actually just landed on the roof. It didn't burn the building down. Or maybe there's 3. And, of course, those things were rebuilt. It only messed up with shit. People watch this shit on the news. They watch these channels make videos about this stuff. They act like it's a forever disruption in the food chain, and it's not. But let's move on. Wait. They're going to start making it impossible to move around freely in the next month or so? Richie has several videos, and I mean several, stating that civil war begins the 8th, the day, or at midnight of the eclipse. That's Richie saying this shit, not me. But now we have a month or so. But that's of course they could start civil war and then keep taking out infrastructure. But I'm going to address that too. But let's move on. Matter of fact, I gotta skip forward here. Let me pause. I gotta skip forward here. Skip forward a bit, and this is his buddy Many a Fish. This Christian bullshit channel that do these ley lines. Let's see what he has to say here and all this other horse shit.
It is the morning of March 26th, 2024. I started recording this at 8:46 a.m., ironically and not intentionally.
Who gives a fuck?
The Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed after it got hit by a ship this morning, very early this morning. So technically 3/4.
Okay, he's going to address where this red line goes, but he's going to ignore where this red line goes. But over the years, watching these people like this Many a Fish or whoever the fuck he is that does this Christian other horse shit, they only pick the lines that fit their needs. So let's ignore this one. We're just going to go with this one.
Of the country was still in March 25th, Shushan Purim. But I need to tell you about this because this line, if any of you have watched my videos, you know that there are specific lines that run from the Georgia Guidestones all the way up through to the Bunker Hill Monument in Boston.
Now, if you've watched these people do this kind of shit over the years, you can pick any sort of government or state or federal building or whatever. You can pick any sort of monument and run it through a monument or a state building or a federal building in the other country to fit your needs. And I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. That's just the way they do this.
Boston, Massachusetts, which encompasses essentially what you'd call the original 13 colonies. That's how I look at it, the 13 rebellious colonies.
Oh my God, the rebellious colonies.
This line all the way, and I'm not kidding you.
He's not kidding.
Almost within 2 degrees, 3 degrees, all the way.
Almost within 2 or 3 degrees. Doesn't have to be accurate, but nope, not to fit video purposes. And he's actually going to say that.
Around over to London, which has a multitude of stories in and of itself, all the way to Mount Hermon in southern Lebanon, northern Israel. And I've shared a lot about that with you before.
I'm sure you have.
This is just an amazing thing to me.
Amazing.
That I do believe is just showing us something, you know what I mean? But to me, that's just very, very interesting.
Oh, I guess that's the end of the video. Hang on. It constantly amazes me year by year. These people can put out this shit, and when nothing comes of it, it's forgive and forget. And they keep sending these people their money. That Richie, from his GoFundMe still there. It's just over $25,000. You can be sure he's cashed that out. And now that I have confirmed, I just confirmed it because Richie's in the passenger seat. He's having to support somebody else. But Richie does. Richie doesn't try. He's a loner, but Richie's the kind of person that's scared to camp alone. He might do it for a night, but he gets scared and lonely. But I have to show something else regarding this infrastructure shit. Let me pause here. I gotta pull up some map stuff on my other phone. this on the screenshot on my last video. At least I was able to. I had to put it sideways because I couldn't make it fit. Being vertical, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But look at the major port. I didn't get the Florida ones because it wouldn't fit. Okay, where are we at? Oh, I got lost. Oh, there's Baltimore. 1,560. Shit. I forgot to get in there if that's per day or week or month or whatever. But that's, if you look at the blue containers, blue is containers, dry bulk is yellow. But look at how minor it is compared to the other. You got this one right here in New Jersey. Right below there's Virginia ports. Right below there's, look at the size of the Brunswick one. The Charleston one, I think that's Brunswick up there. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Yes, if we lose a port like we just did here, yes, it affects shipping and containers and all that shit. But when a shipping, I don't know this for a fact, but this would be obviously half the way it works. When these companies are shipping over their goods, they're going to ship it to the closest port to where those containers, when they're emptied or put on trains or put on, tractor trailers to go to fucking Walmart or King Soopers or whatever, Kmart, they want to go to the closest shipping port possible, combined with the cheaper port possible, because whatever, it's just competition everywhere. Go where you can get the cheapest, but at the same time where you have shortest delivery, But like I'm pointing out here, it's not it's not by any means the biggest port for deliveries. Yes, does it affect shit? And yes, does it affect that with that highway being gone? But let me pause here again because I want to show you something else I showed. This is not a world-ending or world-devastating. This is not affecting, except for a few hours, products coming into this country or the infrastructure. Of course, because the media and the government has to make a big deal out of it. And Biden jumped out and made a press conference saying they're completely going to cover the whole cost of a new bridge. But let's pause here. Again, right there in the blue is the Key Bridge in Baltimore. Yes, that's going to affect traffic. I think one of these is a tunnel right here. But anyway, they have 1, 2, 3 other routes to go. And depending on where a trucker's coming from, they can divert up this. But anyway, I'm just showing you. I have to show this shit. Because even if you go across the harbor there, whatever you want to call it, you still have to go up and over. I mean, this may be also a hazmat route, because in a lot of states like Colorado, certain trucks, depending on hazardous materials, have to go around. So, they might make them route around Baltimore unless they have to make a delivery there and still run them through it. But people understand all this shit, but let's zoom out here. In the grand scheme of things, that really doesn't affect jack shit, because vehicles come in this, it probably affects people that live there and work there the most, driving to and from work in those areas, and you want to avoid the congestion of downtown. We all get it, but they're going to go from here and go up around there and have to go, especially in rush hour, and that's, come on, they're overblowing this shit big time on the media and in the news. The bigger issue is not for the cargo ships coming in or out, or the fewer cruise ships. The bigger issue is those that have the jobs at those ports, for the cruise ships, or especially the imports, exports. I can't remember. I think it was up to 130,000 affected. Those are the people that are going to be screwed the most, that have jobs there. But anyway, it's just such bullshit over and over. And apparently from that last clip I just showed from Richie from Boston, he's already making a cop-out because the shit that's going to be coming in a month or months, what he said, Well, again, what are these channels? It's not just Richie from Boston. It's not just the subject, this topic of the Civil War. It's them doing this same fucking shit week by week, month by month, year by year, and the sheep just keep eating this shit up. It annoys me that these people are no different than the street preachers that so many of us hate. And back in the day, look, even nowadays, you got Joel Osteen. That dude's making mega bucks over his feel good, do right preaching shit. going back to the 50s and the 40s, these traveling caravans with the preachers sucking money off the people. These people are no different. They're sucking money off of poor people. They're sucking money off the elderly. They're sucking money off, especially women. You know, when you consider high impact flicks, The Crow House, Richie from Boston, that dude Marfugel. That dude Marfugel admits he's got grandma groups that send in monthly support checks of who knows how much because he said he won't say. I mean, they're scammers, they're hustlers, they're liars, they're fakes, they're frauds, and not one of them believes in or will do what the Bible says whatsoever. They're Christianity. No, fuck them all. I hope you all die of Ebola and shit comes pouring out your ass and your cocks and your pussies or whatever if you're a woman. And see you later. Bye for now.